Geopolitical Christianity establishes God's divine earthly empire on a foundation upheld by 4 pillars. Now, the 4 pillars of geopolitical Christianity are universal laws of apex human awakening. These laws prioritize self-enhancement through harmony, beauty, and liberty. All right. The following core tenets of geopolitical Christian living, the following 4 tenets drive geopolitical Christian living. Okay. In most of my videos, I'll usually have like a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3, and a 4. I'm just going to do this with my fingers, and hopefully you can see them. All right. The first one is moral objectivism. Moral objectivism comes from Ayn Rand's rational selfishness, a virtue of selfishness, or rational self-interest. And moral objectivism puts the individual as the end and as the central objective, meaning your selfishness, let me put this another way. Moral objectivism is the principle behind, okay, I'm just going to look it up because I could talk forever about it, and I'm going to just go on and on and on and on. Moral objectivism. Okay. And I'll just read it, and then I'll expound, because I love this one. And morally is based on a set of universal moral principles that evaluate all people and situations, regardless of color. Yeah, okay, I can say that. All right. Moral objectivism is based on a set of universal moral principles that apply to all people and situations, regardless of culture, belief, or feelings. And I 100% believe in that, and that is important. So moral objectivism, as it applies to geopolitical Christianity, aligns with that. It doesn't matter what your culture is, what your beliefs are, where you're from. There's a moral objective sense. And there are universal laws, basically. I guess the best way that I put it in the past is that moral objectivism is a morality based on universal laws. Universal laws that are immutable laws. And they're immutable laws of apex human awakening. And there are people that will say, oh, well, it's relativist. Like, oh, well, it is what it is. You just go with the flow. Well, is child abuse, the P word? I don't know if I can use that or not anymore because I'm going to get more views here. So, we'll just say it. Is pedophilia okay? Hell no. There's nowhere in the world. I don't care what your culture is. I don't care what it is. That's never okay in any way, shape, or form, ever, at any time, ever. But that's a universal law of apex human awakening. It's a universal principle that's not mutable. It's not like something where we say, well, let's debate it. So one of the reasons that that stuff still happens is because people, like the relativist ideology that's filtered into the moralist world, the altruist moralist world, lets it slip. And that's why you have Catholic priests doing that, and evangelical pastors, and P. Diddy party people, and Disney show people, and the progressive left encouraging that kind of behavior because they lack a moral objectivism. They lack the ability to identify the universal law that says that is untenable. I mean, that is unacceptable. So just to explain why it's unacceptable, because I know that people are like, well, I don't know. Then nobody's ever going to say why they don't know that is unacceptable. I'll explain it very simply. There is a primary principle that drives human reproduction. One of those principles is that human reproduction occurs between 2 reproducing individuals, like 2 individuals that have the ability to reproduce. Okay, in the animal world, that's just like all animals kind of know that. All right, humans for some reason have lost that ability to understand that, and so abuse of children in that way is destructive to our ability as a species, and it's like self-deletion is destructive to your life. And so because it's destructive to your life, it's immoral. It's that simple. Now, eating a pork sandwich, some people say that's immoral. No, it's not. It's not. Eating a ham sandwich is not immoral. It doesn't matter, okay? So anyway, moral objectivism is based on universal principles of morality that don't care about your race, religion, any of that stuff. And that's the great thing about geopolitical Christianity, is that it's based on universal principles. All right, get on to the second one. The second one is intrinsic virtue. Intrinsic virtue is based on the verse in the Bible in Psalms that says, "Thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee." You do not, and also on Romans 14:14 and Romans 14:22, okay? Blessed is the man that doesn't condemn that which he alloweth. Also, that's Romans 14:22, and then 14:14 is there's no unclean thing, right? There's no unclean thing according to God or whatever. It breaks that down. And the reason that is, and Paul goes into this in Romans, is because we are no longer captives of the law. We're no longer slaves of the moral law because it's written in our heart through Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, and we have an intrinsic sense of virtue. We know what is right and wrong. It goes back to moral objectivism, but moral objectivism is more universally sound. It's like a vegetarian life. If you're following a morally objective mind frame, a vegetarian lion is morally objectionable, morally evil. A vegetarian lion is morally evil. That is wrong, because lions weren't designed for that. The universal principle, natural principles, natural laws of nature just dictate that a lion eat flesh. Okay, so intrinsic virtue is the internal compass that you have to navigate moral objectivism. Transcendent self-awareness is the ability, that's the third principle that upholds God's geopolitical, divine, earthly kingdom, is transcendent self-awareness. Transcendent self-awareness is your ability to realize that self begins here, but it's reflected out here. So the people that I say are my enemies, the people that are harming me, people that are trying to hurt or victimize me or whatever, the bad out in the world is actually a reflection of myself. And so I don't get to blame life for my problems. I don't get to blame others for my failures. I always take responsibility. Even if I don't like racism or sexism in the world, if I'm seeing it out there, it's a reflection of something in me. And so there's no such thing as outside with transcendent self-awareness. All of life is a reflection of me. Just like I said, the universe is a dead, empty mirror. God, consciousness, animates the mirror and allows us to experience reality. The universe doesn't give a rat's turd about you. The universe is taking care of me. The universe is guiding me. I get it. You don't want to offend people by saying God is the one. But it's God, consciousness, self. That's what's driving reality. The universe is dead. It's static. Nothing's happening here. There's nothing happening here, y'all. Nothing happening here. I'm here to tell you that. That's why people think it's a simulation, because it's not a simulation, really. It is kind of, but it isn't. It's a dead mirror. The universe is dead. There's nothing happening here without God, without consciousness. All right. The fourth thing that upholds and establishes God's divine earthly empire is rational selfishness. Now, so I talked about the 7 pillars or some core principles, because you've got to have those core principles in your life. If you missed that, look at video 5. But the core principles, the pillars that actually hold up God's empire are these. And of course, the fourth one is rational selfishness. So I talked about moral objectivism, intrinsic virtue, transcendent self-awareness, and the fourth is rational self-interest. Rational self-interest is your ability to take care of you, first and foremost. You take care of number one and number one only. Number one, number one only. Number one, and number one only. If you have a wife and kids, take care of one and one only. Why? Go back to number 3, transcendent self-awareness. Wife and kids are an extension of you. So if you take care of you first, you're taking care of them. If you take care of them, you're taking care of you. All right? That's how that works. So rational self-interest means that you are putting yourself first. You're making sure that your life is prosperous, productive, peaceful, plentiful, pleasurable, pure, powerful, and then purposeful. And when you do that, you're able to be a pillar. You're able to be a powerful person in the world. Okay? So, like I said, there are 4 pillars that uphold the foundations of God's eternal divine earthly empire. That is moral objectivism, meaning universal laws, of morality, not the fake fucking laws. Excuse me, the fake laws of morality. Like don't use profanity. That's a fake fucking law. Okay, it's stupid. Sorry, I use profanity a lot, and I'm apologizing to people who are online with me but getting hurt when they hear fuck because maybe they got slapped every time they heard fuck as a child. I'm sorry. Not trying to stir up your pain. But anyway, profanity is what it is. But that's a stupid law, and it has nothing to do with moral objectivism. Because fuck in French, fac in French means faculty building. Okay, negar in Amarnia means king. So you say negar in English, and you're offending somebody. You say negar, and again, that's not a universal principle. Moral objectivism is it's a universal. It's universal. It's across the board. There's no oh, I was offended because I speak this language. I'm in this place. And no, I'm not offended over there in that place, that language or that culture or whatever. It's universal. And a lot of the moralistic laws are not universal. They're about keeping you in the tiny little box of your culture and making you hate other people. Like, oh, we're Jews and we don't like the Palestinians. Or we're Palestinians, they hurt us and they stole our land and we don't like the Jews. Stupid. It's stupid. It's savagery. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just gonna say the truth, man. Look, it's just like with black people and white people and all that other stuff. It's like, just grow up. Anyway, so moral objectivism is the first, intrinsic virtue is the second. God's word and law is written in your heart, so you don't got to worry about always looking to other people to tell you what to do. Transcendent self-awareness means the world outside of you is a reflection of you. Like I was picking on the blacks and everybody else for being all whatever, and that's a reflection of me. You know, if I think it's stupid, well, then there's a part of me that's attached to that. I'll cop to that. All right, and then the fourth is rational self-interest. Look, I'm taking care of me first and foremost all the time. When I take care of me first, I'm good. Everybody else does that. We're all good. Oh, wow, what a novel concept. And then we can share because guess what? When I'm good and I have more than enough, I have too much, and I share with you, it feels good to share with you. If I share with you because it's compulsory and it's share because that's what Jesus wants you to do. No, Jesus doesn't want you to do that. Jesus wants you to be good first, then share, and then be happy to do it. So anyway, those are the four pillars of the universal laws of apex human awakening that establish God's kingdom on this earth. Okay? The New Jerusalem and all that stuff is built on these principles. And, savage people won't understand it, and it's okay. I have no judgment. Savagery is not a judgment. It's a moral, objective observation. All right. That's all I got to say about that. 12 minutes. All right, we're doing pretty good.